নুটি ছোটা ছুটি টালি থেকে টালা, ওল্ড হোল এগ রোল বেলফুল মালা, লেনিনের পাদদেশে প্রণামীর থালা, তবু পরিঘোর ভিক্টোরিয়া। যাক উড়ে যাক দুধে ভাতে থাক, কলকাতা কলকাতাতেই আমার শহর, আমার শহর, আমার শহর, আমার শহর।
Well, hello and welcome to yet another episode of KOLKATA, AMAR SHOHOR. And as promised, it's back in a better way for a better understanding of this city and its beautiful stories. And since KOLKATA AMAR SHOHOR went from hardcore Bengali to English, I thought why not start this journey with the stories of a place that is quite similar. A place forgotten in time, trying to hold on to its identity as the world moves forward. A place that houses majority of Kolkata's Anglo-Indian community, the Bow Barracks. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, India came under the direct rule of the British Empire. People from Britain had started arriving in India in great numbers. There were soldiers, doctors, engineers, and officials. Many British men ended up marrying Indian women, and the children born out of this wedlock were of both British and Indian origin and were known as Anglo-Indians. And back in the day, Anglo-Indians held important official posts as well as a majority of clerical jobs. Later, as India gained independence, many Anglo-Indians started to move back to countries like US, UK and Australia. But some stayed back, and that's how the Bow Barracks grew. Today, the narrow lanes of Bow Barracks can be easily identified due to the legendary red brick 3-storied houses. And if you walk through them, you'll be transported to a different era, with Elvis Presley and John Lennon songs being heard from different houses. Well, another story regarding the red brick building and the peculiar name is that these buildings were actually garrison barracks for soldiers during World War I. The soldiers would be allocated according to their ranks in these buildings. But the soldiers thought it would be beneath them to be staying in these houses and preferred Fort William. Thus they left, and while leaving, they handed these buildings to the Anglo-Indians on rent. And that's how the community grew up here. Bow Barracks, Bow after Bow Bazaar, the area it is located in, and Barracks because the quarters dating back to the 1900s were originally meant to house British troops. Now this Bow Barracks is situated in central Kolkata, behind Bow Bazaar police station off Central Avenue. It's a narrow lane between Hare Street and Bow Bazaar police station. A quiet lane, static in time, amidst the mad chaos from around Chandni Market and Bow Bazaar. But the happiness here is contagious. Every year, this quiet place transforms itself in joy and celebration during Christmas. While it is quite obvious for an Anglo-Indian community to be absolutely ecstatic about Christmas, their biggest festival, no one here feels left out. People living in Bow Barracks prepare cakes, cookies and homemade wine and offer it to anyone ringing their doorbell. You can be a complete stranger in this area and you will be fed and taken care of like a family guest. And this makes Bow Barracks one of the best places to celebrate Christmas in Kolkata. There's lots of food and lots of good food. There's wine, some home-cooked biryani, steaks, desserts, finger-licking fish fries, and the list does not end here. Such is the spirit of Christmas in Bow Barracks. They share the joy of Christmas with anyone and everyone who visits them. And with hundreds of people crammed into the narrow streets, things can get a little overwhelming. But the organizers ain't complaining. Well, another interesting thing about Christmas here in Bow Barracks is their Santa. Here, the red-robed Santa comes riding a typical Kolkata hand-pulled rickshaw. Now, how Indian is that? Well, sledges are too mainstream, and you possibly couldn't get your hands on a reindeer here. So why not a hand-pulled rickshaw? Well done, Santa! English carols now mix with Bengali ones. For though Christmas in Kolkata was usually associated with the English-speaking Anglo-Indian community, the city has a sizable Bengali Christian population too. While some of these carols and songs are mere translations, there is a growing number of original Bengali compositions that are becoming more and more popular. And you could also hear the strains of Borodiner Kirtan being performed to the beats of Khol and Kortal. Now, these Bow Barracks were designed by a gentleman named Halsey Ricardo, who also designed another famous architecture here in the city of joy, the Howrah Station. The architecture is minimalist, repetitive on the whole. A grotto was built in 1967 in the passage between the 6th and 7th blocks for the residents to come together and pray. The local community holds various philanthropic programs for senior people and the poor and needy children of the area, irrespective of their religious faith. The location of Bow Barracks have been the focus of literary and cinematic discussions for ages, and is very different from the rest of the city of Kolkata. By the way, have you watched the movie named Bow Barracks Forever, directed by the famous film personality Anjan Dotto? Well, if you haven't, give it a quick watch. As time progresses and the world moves on, this small piece of history remains stranded in time. As more and more Anglo-Indian families keep migrating to other parts of the world, this community is dwindling. And what is left is the slowly crumbling red facades of these buildings and the rich memories attached to them. Bow Barracks stand as a poignant part of the rich cultural heritage of my city, AMAR SHOHOR. Feel like going? Well, Bow Barracks is situated off Chittaranjan Avenue, behind Bow Bazaar Police Station. You can take any bus travelling along CR Avenue, and if you are travelling by the underground metro railway, get down at Central Station and walk down. So next time, or better if possible during Christmas this year, walk into these narrow lanes and seep into the old Calcutta charm. have a glass of homemade wine mixed with warm hospitality, and come back with fond memories of AMAR SHOHOR. But please, do keep this in mind. Although the residents are generally friendly towards visitors, just like you and I, they might not like intrusion into their private space. So do not take pictures of people and homes without their permission. And do not ask if they sell homemade wine. Whatever they make is for their own consumption and not for sale.
The wind in my alley, the dust in my eyes, the chill on my dirty raincoat reminds me of you. A song half written, a story untold, an old man traveling alone reminds me of you.
Well, this was today's episode. If you found it interesting, please do like, share and subscribe to KOLKATA AMAR SHOHOR. You could also keep an eye on KOLKATA AMAR SHOHOR on Instagram. The link would be given in the description box. So hope to see you same place, same time next week. Stay happy, stay safe, and hope to see you at Bow Barracks pretty soon.